This one goes out to all the DC fanboys / haters out there. We put a reaction video out to the Justice League trailer, and needless to say, it is not a popular video. We have 2 likes, 59 dislikes, and a lot of people on that commented mentioned that we haven't broke 1,000 views yet.
Actually, it's like the same guy who keeps telling us.
Oh, it's the same guy?
He keeps reminding us.
Okay.
Like, by the way, you faggots, because he keeps calling us that. That we haven't gotten 1,000 views yet.
So I guess what I wanted to talk about was like how someone in their right mind can defend what this universe has done so far. Other than the Wonder Woman movie, which technically doesn't really connect to the fucking universe at all. It doesn't advance the Justice League story. It's a one-off movie if we want to break it down. You know, it's an origin movie for one of the characters, but it has nothing to do with the rest of the universe, and it won't connect to the rest of the universe. So to even say, oh, well, Wonder Woman was...
I read an article that Flashpoint might interweave with Wonder Woman.
So they're going to bring back Steve Trevor?
I don't know, but that's what I read, is that like somehow Flashpoint is going to interact with interweave with Wonder Woman, not the character, but the movie.
With World War I Wonder Woman?
Yeah, that's the article I read. Obviously, it's all alleged. You don't fucking know.
Right.
Like, maybe they realize that, yeah, maybe we should bring back Chris Pine or blah, blah, blah. You don't know. But I'm just saying that, like,
which would not surprise me, because let's see what they've already done. Man of Steel came out.
Trash.
And they had that fucking way too long fight sequence between Superman and Zod, where they destroyed the entire fucking city. And then at the end of the movie, everyone's like, oh, we love Superman. Let's build him a statue.
Yay.
Then people are like, wait a second.
This is fucking stupid.
Yeah, why would people be congratulating him? Why would people be on his side? Like, he killed so many people. The collateral damage from this fucking fight.
And how does Man of Steel 2 start? Or excuse me, Batman vs. Superman start?
It has Batman in the middle of the fucking collateral damage.
And then making that the whole purpose of the film.
And then I've heard other people trying to say, oh no, that's what was the case the entire time, which is fucking bullshit.
Prove it.
Yeah, because let me ask you something. Why would they build a guy a fucking statue and then try to get him convicted in fucking court for
because of Batman all of a sudden?
Yeah, it doesn't make any fucking sense. That was a mistake. They realized, okay, maybe we fucked up with this way too long shitty action sequence. So let's come up with a solution.
And they fixed it as best as they could, which is still shitty. Suicide Squad, which I feel like was I don't know. I can't prove this. I haven't seen the extended edition. That's fucking stupid. But I personally feel like the movie that was being made was not going to be the movie we all saw in the movie theaters.
Right.
100%. And I feel like because of the studio's tendencies to like listen to fans, and maybe this is a problem because we want studios to listen to us all the time, but maybe they listen to the wrong people or whatever. But they changed that trailer. I mean, they changed the movie after the reception of the trailer came out. It was like, oh, it's funny. It's not like Batman vs. Superman. It's not dark. It's blah, blah, blah. And they were on record saying that they like increased the jokes. They reworked the scenes, how like Joker was more of a part of something, like literally it's on, you can read all this shit. Again, listening to us. Same thing with, with this Justice League thing. All the comics, all the trailers have a little more comedy in them. A little more of this. Like the Batman vs. Superman trailers weren't funny. Man of Steel trailers weren't funny.
No.
Because that's not the universe that Zach was trying to set out to make.
No, it wasn't supposed to be. They were trying to be different from Marvel. And I feel like Marvel definitely has the humor thing down. That's a part of your movies. There's going to be jokes. There's going to be action. As of right now, the villains aren't going to be so great, None
of them really are.
Well, Loki was good. Vulture was good. I don't know how Vulture connects to in the long run. The TV universe itself is different. Kingpin is a great villain, but how is he going to connect into the cinematic universe? Though. Yeah. For the cinematic universe, they've only had 2 good villains. I'll give them that. But the stories themselves, they're not the strongest stories, but they're entertaining movies. Like, you get through the movie, you don't walk out like, I fucking hated this shit, except for Age of Ultron. That was the only one where I was like, wow, this fucking sucked.
And you only walk out mad if you had a button to pick, I feel like.
Right.
I feel like with Batman vs. Superman, Man of Steel, Suicide Squad, not Wonder Woman, but the other 3 I just mentioned, you definitely don't leave like, fuck, man, that was cool. That was good. Like you kind of feel mad, like disappointed, too long, whatever it might be. Like, there was a lot of things I still stand up for Batman vs. There's a lot of things that I enjoyed. 100% can't lie. Like, I liked when the whole fight at the end when they're fighting, what's his name? Abomination or whatever the fuck his name is.
Abomination.
What's his name?
It's Doomsday.
Doomsday. When they're fighting Doomsday and Wonder Woman's there, like that whole dynamic with the music, like I liked that. I was into that moment. I liked when Jesse Eisenberg took Superman's mom.
Took Martha,
but I hated Martha. I hated that Martha scene. I thought that was dumb. I hated the intro, like all the part where like they have to put Superman on trial and all this fake shit. Like you're gonna make a universe that's so real, but you're really gonna put Superman on trial,
right?
Really? Like you're gonna why would Superman even let you do any of that? Like it's stupid,
right?
Like who the fuck is that dumb to feel like, oh, he has handcuffs on now, he's definitely in our control. Like that doesn't make any sense unless they're fucking made of kryptonite. Like there's no reason why that. You know what I mean? Like it doesn't make any fucking sense. He could break out of any fucking jail in a heartbeat.
People get upset about people. You know who we're talking about. Get upset about Spider-Man's origin getting changed, but don't seem to have any issue. Well, I don't know if they don't have an issue or not, but Superman's character is fundamentally changed in this universe. Superman would never complain about the people. He'd never be a whiny bitch. Like, they don't like me. I guess I'm going to turn myself in because they don't like me. Superman would never do that.
Well, Superman sucks.
He does. I'm not a fan of Superman, but I'm saying his character always had faith in humanity. You know?
Well, that's his whole point. Isn't that what his they make? It stands for hope or whatever. Like, exactly. That's the whole fucking point of his character.
But then in Batman vs. Superman, he's like, fuck these people.
I'm going to kill Batman.
They got my back. You know, like, yeah, that shit. Like, Batman never kills anyone, but in this one, he fucking kills people left and right. Like,
he's a different Batman.
Fucking hoses them down with the fucking machine guns.
He doesn't kill them. He just happens to shoot things that are like hanging that might kill them. Like, if they move, they won't die. But at the end of the day, if they weren't fucking with Batman, you know, I'm just saying. No, but I agree. I mean, some of these comments, let's see. I can read a few of them. Fucking idiots ruined my time. You asked someone where their reaction video was because they were talking about how they know all this shit about reaction videos. So you're like, where's yours? And he said, my reaction video was at your mama's house when I was fucking her. LMAO, shut your bitch ass up. Captain, save a bitch, all late to reply to me. Let me guess, you the nigga that be slobbering on these fags' dicks, huh? You trying to help them get their views up too. Still under 1,000. LOL. STFU, bitch.
Yeah, that was after I replied. I think I just said one sentence about him throating his uncle. That was that. So I triggered him, you know.
But it's the same thing. It's like Zach Smith. I've watched several reactions to this trailer, and you guys are the first to say it's a horrible trailer. Either you're Marvel fans just riding the bandwagon, or you're not fans of superhero movies. It's one or the other. How? How is it one or the other?
I don't know.
Like you can just what you have, Marvel?
And that's what it comes down to. Like obviously all of this is subjective as fuck, but I feel like you have something wrong with you or very poor taste if you enjoyed 3 of the 4 movies. If you enjoyed Man of Steel, Batman vs. Superman, and Suicide Squad. If you can legitimately tell me that those are like good movies,
I can give Man of Steel a pass to a degree. Because there was more human elements in Man of Steel than any of the other movies.
I mean, it was better than Batman vs. Superman.
Yeah. I'm not defending it. I'm not saying it's good, but I can legitimately look you in the eyes and say Man of Steel is probably like a C-, C+, or a C- movie.
I could see you being a Superman fan and defending that movie because you like Superman. Until he snaps Zod's neck at the end. Because if you're a Superman fan, that right there would set you off. He doesn't kill people.
He makes sure you're not going to do anything bad, but like he's not going to kill you to make sure you're not going to do anything bad.
He doesn't snap people's fucking necks in the middle of a fucking like public
But at the same time, you got to defend the actions of that Superman a little bit. He knew that Zod was not going to stop.
That's fine and dandy, but we're talking the people that complain and defend these movies are all comic book fans. They're all superhero. That's the one thing we all have in common with the people that are getting mad. They love DC so much that they're going to defend it to the fucking death, even if it's fucking trash, which so far it's been in. This is not me. This is Rotten Tomatoes. This is Metacritic. These are people out there.
And not like critic scores. We're talking about like
people going to watch the movie. Like I don't even. I
audience scores. Let's see, Man of Steel. I know we got to wrap it up, but Man of Steel, Rotten Tomatoes. Let's look what it is right now, just out of curiosity. Audience. What do you think it is?
Man of Steel?
Yeah.
I'm going to be nice and say it's 60.
Well, you'd be fucking wrong. It's a 75% audience score.
Oh, well.
55 critics. So we actually probably sit in line with the critics. What's the other one? Batman versus Superman.
70.
63%.
63%. So Man of Steel, the one that you defended, was
Better.
Higher. Dawn of Justice down to 63%. 27% critic score.
Right. Suicide Squad is 61% liked audience, and then tomato meter at 25. Now, I do have to admit, critics, I really do feel like critics are extra harsh on DC movies. However, this is what I felt like, but when Wonder Woman came out and you add in all the SJW bullshit, and then you add in the fact the movie's not a piece of shit, then, you know, you definitely get a more positive reception, because the movie wasn't a piece of shit.
No, it wasn't. It wasn't a turd.
Regardless if you don't like the, you know, through and through, or great movie, or, you know, maybe you don't think it's a Batman Begins type movie, but it was not a shitty fucking movie.
And I had a discussion about this on a page.
90%.
People are talking about you know, how much money it's made. Is it going to break $1 billion? Whatever.
Wonder Woman?
Yeah, it's not there yet. It's at a little under 800 million worldwide. And why so many people came out, and that's like the big argument is, oh, it made this much money. Obviously, it's fucking great. And I'm like, that's, you know, like I said, I think it's a good movie. I don't think it's a great movie. I give it a 7 out of 10. You know, it's a solid movie. Not the best superhero movie to ever come out. Not in my top 10 at all. You know?
I low-key expect that's what Warner Brothers was expecting it to do. Like, I really think it hit their expectations. I don't think it exceeded their expectations. And the reason why I say that, my theory is, and I think we should just finish with this. My theory is, if you look at Deadpool,
yeah,
and you look at Logan, and the fact that they're rated R, well, Deadpool, let's just stick with Deadpool. That movie launched, it exceeded everyone's expectations.
Absolutely.
What were you hearing about? Oh, Dawn of Justice is going to have a rated R cut. Oh, it has nothing to do with that. Bullshit. All of a sudden, studios were allowing companies like, oh, it's R, we'll let you go. Logan, R, go ahead, no problem. Mm-hmm. It's all because of Deadpool.
Right.
Because it was exceeded them so much they were willing to take more chances.
Yeah.
You look at Wonder Woman, name me fucking one movie other than Captain Marvel, which was already in development, that has a woman at the lead. Superhero-wise. Not one. You would think if the movie was so fucking big and it exceeded everyone's expectations that all these people would be like, fuck, people clearly want women in superhero roles leads. Let's fucking make some. Because we have a lot. There's a lot. There are a lot. And even just off the, you know, Scarlett Johansson bombed on fucking Ghost in Shell, clearly proving she can't, you know, lead a movie by herself.
Right.
But I mean, you could easily throw Hulk in there. I mean, Black Widow has been proven on the screen that she's a promiscuous woman.
Right.
And so you could easily have Tony Stark in there. You can easily have all these people. I mean, that's how she was introduced, on the back of Tony Stark. But I'm just saying, though, you can't name me one, because I feel like the industry is sexist as fuck, which I think yes, but no at the same time. You know, I don't think it's a reason for them to lose money over it.
Right.
I think sexism will go out the door if they know they can bank on these women stars 100%. Like, whatever. But that's my thing. Yeah, I don't know if you have anything to add to that.
No, I mean, my point was, I mean, number one, Wonder Woman's an iconic character. She's been around since the fucking 1930s or 1940s.
Which is why I feel like it met their expectations.
Yeah,
didn't
it's a character that's been around since as long as Batman, as long as Superman, you know, longer than Spider-Man. So it's a character, when it comes to female superhero, Wonder Woman is your go-to. She had a TV show in the fucking 70s, for Christ's sake.
Right.
You know, that's your go-to. That's one thing. The other thing was female director, which they pushed like a motherfucker. They were throwing that out left and right. I know for a fact that lots of fucking people that wouldn't have gone to see a superhero movie went to watch this, specifically because it was a woman superhero directed by a woman. They don't give a fuck about any other superhero movie. They're not going to watch any other superhero movies.
Kudos to her.
They went to, and that's fine. But I'm saying
she's
that
part of the universe.
That's part of the success of the fucking movie, is like the SJW. And the way I know this is true is because if you look at gross, what it's done worldwide versus what it's done domestically, more than 50% of the profits have come here in the U.S.
That's good. I understand your point. That means there's a lot of SJWs in America.
What I'm saying is that the rest of the world doesn't give a fuck. Like,
they just want to watch Wonder Woman.
They just want to watch a superhero movie. All they care about is explosions. They don't give a fuck who the lead is. But here in the States, we made it a point. And then this is for another time. We can look up the numbers and see how much other movies have done domestically. I was surprised. I figured it'd make way more money internationally than it did. You know, I feel like other movies have made way more internet.
Especially when you're doing superhero movies.
Right.
But people don't like women worldwide either.
No?
I mean, I'm super generalizing this, but I feel like the countries that would normally do well for like a Batman versus Superman, maybe not necessarily a female-led version of that.
No, they probably wouldn't.
And and again, that's where the sexism comes into play.
Well, it's also like what the SJW movement can do here in the States is that they can push this movie to a place.
That's the internet, man.
You put.
It's fucking true. Without the internet, how do they communicate? How do they talk with one another? How do you blow it up?
I don't know. I feel like people have been rallying. I mean, maybe that's why the women's rallies after Trump got elected were so big, or the inauguration.
They coordinated.
It's all, yeah. The women's network is strong in this country.
The SJW network is strong.
Yeah.
That's why Trump's in office. But anyway.
But I think that's going to wrap it up for us. You know the drill. Hit that bell if you made it through this entire YouTube cast. If you're listening on SoundCloud, we love interacting with you, Prodigy. So just leave comments. We'll be up. We're going to be doing a sports podcast. We're going to do a boxing preview later on this week.
It'll be up Friday. We'll record Thursday and it'll be up Friday.
Yep, Friday. And look out for reactions for it to hate on. We're going to have a bunch of stuff out. So we will see you next time. And PNG Talk.